Now, you can listen to Wine and Dine Radio while shopping at the grocery store or your neighborhood wine merchant. Wine and Dine Radio can be heard using your wireless internet on your cell phone. You're listening to iWineRadio. iWineRadio is a production of Food Tastes Better with Wine on the web at iWineRadio.com. Hey guys, I thank you for listening to iWineRadio, and we are still the only wine channel on iTunes Radio. If you go look under iTunes Radio icon and scroll down to News and Talk Directory, and it's listed alphabetically, click on that and the stream comes up immediately. iWineRadio.com, where you can find links to individual guests. And if anyone's interested in advertising or becoming an underwriter or sponsor, please contact us at iWineRadio.com. We really, really appreciate your support. The more support we get, the more conversations I can have with fascinating people around the world, including you. If you have a story to tell that you'd like to share on iWine Radio, go to iWineRadio.com and contact us, and we'll go from there. The 6th annual Pasadena Pinot Fest, sponsored by Pasadena's top-rated Noir Food and Wine, will be highlighted by a Grand Pinot Noir tasting event on February 9th at the Altadena Town and Country Club in Altadena, California, and guests will be able to taste 200 Pinot Noirs from 100 leading California and Oregon wineries. And joining us today on Wine and Dine is Michael Farwell, who is really the founder of this. And Michael, thank you so very much for joining us today on Wine and Dine. And I'm curious, what is different or new this year compared to last year?
Well, I think we have more wineries. It just seems like it grows every year, but we kind of expect that because of the recession. There's a lot more interest by wineries in getting their product out to the public. And we do sell wine at the event, and they do have more and more wines. We're allowing them this year for the first time to also pour their Chardonnays and their Syrahs, which most Pinot Noir producers make. So I think that's one big difference. Okay, wow. And I'm curious how many, as compared to California, where you're at, how many Oregon producers are there? Like 20 or 30 or 10 or 15? Or I would say between 10 and 15 by the time we get everybody signed up. We only had 3 last year, so we've got quite a few more. Oh, a lot more. Do you have to have a different or a special license for that day for the wineries to be able to pour or sell their wines? No, we do. Altadena Country Club has a license. Oh, okay. And they sell through a retailer. Okay. Who has a license. Okay. We don't sell the wine. Pinot Fest doesn't have anything to do with that. Okay. Okay. So, tell us about what's going on or what is going on at the event? You know, the different events that are going on. Well, there's 3 different events for Pinot Fest this year. One is the kickoff tasting and luncheon at Noir Food and Wine, and that's on January 26th during the afternoon. And that's $29, and you get your lunch. It's a prefix lunch, and get to do a walk-around tasting with about 15 different wineries. It's just kind of a prelude. And then on February 2nd, we have a Costa Brown wine dinner, which is quite an event, but the seating's quite limited, probably sold out by the time your listeners hear this. And those are the pre-events. The main PinotFest'sGrand tasting, which is on the 9th, is divided into 2 sections, actually. One is the general admission, which is 1 o'clock to 4:30, where you get to taste wine and you get to sample the cuisine that's available. And then the VIP ticket, which is a bit more money, you get a VIP lounge. You get in at 11:30 instead of 1 o'clock, so you have an hour and a half where the general public's not there. And there's also jazz music in the lounge and a buffet and your own sparkling wine, so you can spend the day and relax.
Ooh, your own sparkling wine. Is what producer, or is this something that the country club has their own label?
No, this is something that's supplied by. It will be supplied by one of the wineries. We haven't chosen it yet. Probably someone like Flying Goat or someone of that nature.
Yeah. Wow. Okay. So tease us with names of some of the California producers that are going to be pouring.
Well, there's a ton of them. You start with Brewer Clifton. I think they're maybe one of the highlights. They come every year. We have Almarosa, Ampelos, Ken Brown, William Sellium. It's amazing. There's over 100 wineries. There's when we were talking about having over 200 wines, there'll probably be over 300 wines in reality this year. I just don't like to exaggerate it in the print advertising because 200 is more wines than anybody could taste anyway. The average person probably can taste 25 wines. So if you have 300, they're not even going to taste very many of them. But they can enjoy meeting the people, they can enjoy the cuisine, they can enjoy the environment and the fun, but we don't want them to drink too much, but enjoy what they enjoy.
What makes a Pinot Noir consumer different from other consumers?
Well, I think it's sideways. The movie has had such an impact on almost kind of making Pinot Noir, it's kind of a camaraderie kind of thing. It's like something people all experience in a similar way. It's more about, because of the movie, which was more about environment, being in a region that basically predominantly grows Pinot Noir. It's like Burgundy, France. It's not a blend. It's one of the few wines that's never blended. It's not supposed to be. Yeah. They may put a little syrah in it sometimes, but they don't tell anybody.
Whoa, just to bump up the color a bit.
Yeah, sometimes I think maybe they're afraid if it's too light it won't sell. But the color of Pinot Noir not nearly as important as the aroma and the flavor. But, if it's a little redder, it makes, I think, the average California wine person is used to more concentration.
Yeah, I agree with you totally. And so when you're pouring wine at home, is Pinot Noir your favorite?
It's probably the only thing I drink.
Really?
I mean, basically.
Do you drink Pinot Noir as a rosé or a Saignée at all, or do you only prefer it as a red? Personally,
I drink it only as a red. When you go to rosé, I kind of prefer Grenache. So I'm not really looking for Pinot Noir except in its real form.
and so real form does not include a classic method sparkling wine that's predominantly based on Pinot Noir?
Well, that's true, but I mean, 99% of the time you don't even know what's in the sparkling wine. Champagne is an example. You'd have to, seek out the producer to find out what the percentage of Pinot Noir or Chardonnay is. Yeah. But you're right, most of the non-vintage brut champagnes are predominantly Pinot Noir, and that's why they're so wonderful. Mm. So you're right. I did forget about that.
But I love sparkling wine. That's my favorite wine of all. So it was nice to. And Flying Goat, I don't remember, what is his name? Is it Yost? Is his last name?
Norm Yost.
And I interviewed him a year or two ago, and interesting chap.
Yeah, they're a fantastic winery. They're coming, by the way. So.
Wow. So people are. It's grown tremendously over the years. The 6th annual Pasadena Pinot Fest. Mm-hmm. And how far away are you getting people to come and attend this? I mean, is it mainly California people and Southern California people, or are people coming from farther?
Well, it'll be mostly people from the San Gabriel, L.A. basin, because it's our event. However, there's a lot of people that go to Pasadena that stay at the hotels, like the Langham and the Hilton, Sheraton, and some of the other ones, and it's a big event for the hotels to send people to. So we get a lot of people from out of town, and you always get people that are followers of particular wineries that maybe come in for the weekend and stay at a hotel. So we do get people from all over California.
That makes sense. That makes sense. And on the website for we'll actually read it. Okay, it's PasadenaPinotFest.com. People can purchase tickets, right?
That's correct. All the events need pre-purchase.
Okay. And do you also have up on the website, I don't remember from last year, suggestions or links for people to book hotels if they're unfamiliar with the area?
We tried that last year, but we just found that then we become a travel agent.
That's true.
We have so much work to do.
Yeah, that's true.
There's plenty of hotels in Pasadena. There's probably more hotels in Pasadena per capita than in most cities, so there's plenty of rooms. We do have the Langham as a sponsor, so we do recommend the Langham, and we also have the Arroyo Vista, bed and breakfast.
Oh, okay. Okay, and beyond that, you are not a travel agent.
We try. We would love to be, but we just don't have the manpower.
Michael Farwell of Noir Food and Wine and the Pasadena Pinot Fest, thank you again for joining us this year on Wine and Dine.
Sure. Thank you for having us. We appreciate it.
We will have links up for you to learn more. Now you can listen to Wine and Dine Radio while shopping at the grocery store or your neighborhood wine merchant. Wine and Dine Radio can be heard using your wireless internet on your cell phone. You're listening to iWineRadio. iWineRadio is a production of Food Tastes Better with Wine on the web at iWineRadio.com. Hey guys, I thank you for listening to iWineRadio, and we are still the only wine channel on iTunes Radio. If you go look under iTunes radio icon and scroll down to news and talk directory, and it's listed alphabetically, click on that and the stream comes up immediately. iWineRadio.com, where you can find links to individual guests. And if anyone's interested in advertising or becoming an underwriter or sponsor, please contact us at iWineRadio.com. We really, really appreciate your support. The more support we get, the more conversations I can have with fascinating people around the world, including you. If you have a story to tell that you'd like to share on iWineRadio, go to iWineRadio.com and contact us, and we'll go from there.